I know what that is. That's music.
Douglas, see, please. He's just a child.
Don't Douglas see me.
All right, mister, what do you think you're doing? You call this a room? This is a pigsty. I want you to straighten up this area now! You are a disgusting slob! Stand up straight! Tuck in that shirt! Adjust that belt buckle! Tie those shoes! Twisted sister! What is that? Wipe that smile off your face. Do you understand? What is that? A twisted sister pin on your uniform? What kind of a man are you? You're worthless and weak. You do nothing. You are nothing. You sit in here all day and play that sick, repulsive, electric twanger. I carried an M16 and you carry that guitar. Who are you? Where do you come from? Are you listening to me? What do you want to do with your life?
I want to rock.
What's going on, fellow captains? It's Muse. So I hope everyone had an awesome update day. I know CV players did. Um, don't know about the rest of you. So yeah, um, pretty much everything we said in the video from yesterday came to fruition. It's pretty much exactly what I expected, what a lot of other CV players expected from this update. So yeah. There's a lot of talk about CVs need to be dialed down. You took away all of the CV's utility, and now they are strictly damage focused, and that somehow upsets people. So maybe the issue is you just hate CVs and you would rather not see them in the game, other than they need all this adjustment. Do I think they're a little bit on the OP side? I think if they focus you, yes. It really sucks to get focused by one at this point. You know, nobody complains when a Yami sits at the back of the map at 19 kilometers and snipes and has a 300,000 damage game. But the moment it's a carrier, it's a problem. Like, you guys wanted to trade utility for damage on carriers. Like, you can't have it both ways. Like, you may hate carriers, you may wish they're not in the game, but at the end of the day, there's people that do play carriers, and there's people that pay money to play carriers. And Wargaming is not going to neglect that. So they're not going to make carriers to where they're completely useless like some people would like. So you're going to have to deal with either they are going to have utility or they're going to have damage, one of those two. Again, going back to the video yesterday, the solution to carriers is AA and an AA rework. We didn't need the carrier rework. We don't need all kinds of further adjustments to carriers. What we need is an AA rework. That is what the game needs. That is what needs to happen to deal with carriers. If you want to get carriers under control, like I heard someone today suggesting, you know, we need to nerf the regen, we need to nerf the damage. Like, you can't do that. You took away all their utility. You have to leave them with something, and that's the way Wargaming's going to look at it, is, you know, what do they bring to the table? It's like Colbert. It has zero utility, but it is capable of burning people down. It's capable of, you know, its only utility isn't its ability to kite and draw fire. That's the one utility thing it has going for it. So to balance that, it gets, you know, the disgusting reload. And does it shatter a lot? Yeah, but it also starts a lot of fires. And with that fast reload, as many shells as you're spitting, it's not hard to get arsonists in a Colbert. Not hard at all. And so that's the trade-off. And you have to accept one or the other. Either you're going to give carriers their utility, their spotting, the ability to play from range, or you're going to give them damage. It has to be one or the other. You can't have it both ways. You can't have it to where carriers are just a completely useless class. And, you know, any PvP game you play, there's going to be annoying classes. You know, in Call of Duties and Battlefields, it's snipers. Play from range. You don't see them till you're dead. In World of Tanks, it's artillery. In World of Warships, it's carriers. Is what it is. They're the annoying class. They're the class a lot of people don't want to play, but want to bitch about. Well, there's people that do enjoy it. As much as you don't, there's people that actually enjoy this class. I don't, and I enjoyed the class prior to the update. I don't enjoy this new format of damage farming. To me, it's very boring. It's very repetitive. To me, it's the same as sitting at the back of the map in a Yami and just sniping from 19 kilometers. Like, it's not a fun playstyle to me. It might result in big games, damage-wise, but it's not a fun playstyle. To me, you know, a lot of the games I play, nerdy, you know, wizard and dragon kind of stuff. I play healers and tanks. I play support classes. And so I enjoyed carriers the way they were before, where I could support a team through utility rather than go out and just farm raw damage. Now, I didn't have the best damage games in carriers, but I had a pretty decent win rate. Because I played very utility-minded and very team-minded. I was the carrier that would sit over at DD the entire match until he was off the board, and as annoying as that may be, that's what a carrier does. Surprise, that's what a carrier does. You know, again, that same person I was talking about earlier, love him to death, we're not going to say the name because I don't want anybody giving them any guff. Basically saying this game was designed around, you know, strictly surface ships. Well, it's not World of Surface Ships, it's World of Warships. And a carrier is a warship that literally redefined warfare, naval warfare. So to not include it in a naval warfare game that's based around World War II era ships makes zero sense, along with a lot of other things that I've said make zero sense. But we're so biased in our hatred of carriers, we're just going to keep pushing, you know, these narratives of this is why carriers should be useless in the game. And that's personal bias. That is, you don't like the class, you don't like playing against them, you don't like playing in them, but there are other people that do. There are people that don't necessarily play carriers that don't mind them in the game. And what a lot of people really want with carriers is balance. And you're not going to achieve that through constantly changing carriers because that's not the issue. The issue is AA. The lack of AA in the game, the fact that it's broken, it doesn't work. Like, the montage opening up, I'm bullying a California, an Arizona, a Massachusetts. Those are ships with pretty decent AA. So yeah, it's, you know, AA is the problem, not carriers. You can change everything you want on carriers. Like I said, wargaming's not going to make carriers completely useless. You have to give them one or the other. You have to give them utility or damage. You cried when they had utility, so now they've shifted to a damage focus, and you're crying about the damage they put out. Because it's not a class you want to play. I guarantee you if they made battleships to where they were doing, you know, ridiculous numbers, like, nobody would bat an eyelash. Nobody would cry about that, right? Because it's battleships. But because it's carriers, you know, F all the carrier mains, right? And I'm not a carrier main, I'm a cruiser main, but I play a lot of carriers. And I have friends that are indeed carrier mains. That is what they main. And to sit there and talk about, like, you know, like, they're just stupid because they like carriers, well, they feel the same way about your class of ship. You're stupid for what you enjoy. And it goes both ways. So, like, why not just accept that they're here to stay? You're not going to have them nerfed to where they're completely useless. So, come down one way or the other. Do you want them to have utility or do you want them to have damage? Because this is what you asked for. You cried about the utility of them. So now they're completely damage focused, and that's too much now. And it was. Today was toxic. Today I played carriers all day, and it was absolutely toxic what I did to people. But that's the new meta for carriers. This is what you've given us. You've forced us to give up our range and be closer to battle, so we're back almost immediately with planes. You forced us to give up spotting, so we got damage. and now you don't like it. This is exactly what you asked for. And you can say, this isn't what I asked for. Yeah, you asked for them to be useless, and that's not going to happen. It's not going to happen. They're not going to be a useless class. There's no useless class in this game. They're going to be good at something, and that's either going to be damage or utility. You chose damage. Like, you want to fix it? AA is the solution. And you can keep crying about you need to change this and carriers and that and it doesn't matter. Until you fix AA, no matter what you do, you're just going to make it worse. So keep making it worse. Like keep going down that road. Like, that's the way to go, obviously, at this point. Like, look at the mess we've created. How many people enjoyed their gameplay today? I saw people talking about quitting. I saw people in the Discord talking about 90% of the player base is going to quit over this. Y'all did this to yourselves. Like, I found today absolutely hilarious. I enjoyed sitting in carriers just farming all day. I don't enjoy the playstyle. Again, I would rather play a utility-based carrier and be able to do things for my team than just selfishly go out and farm whatever happens to be closest to me. Like, is the fuel mechanic a good mechanic? Yeah, it is. I think it's a little harsh, though, and it forces the carriers to be a little too close. And that is problematic for whoever is getting focused by the carrier, because you're just immediately right back on them. They don't get a chance. That's why today I got an arsonist for the first time in a carrier ever. People were complaining about the fires, the floods. It's not those are overtuned mechanics. It's you force the carriers to be closer, so they're just immediately right back. So right after you pop your DC, they're just right back on you to flood you or fire you again. That's what that is. That was your choosing. You chose, you didn't want carriers at the back of the map. You chose to bring us right up into the surface group. And now that you don't have a moment to breathe, like you're blaming it on, they're OP, they're overtuned. No, you changed the mechanics to something that had unintended consequences from what you thought it would have. Because you didn't want carriers at the back of the map. Like, that's your own doing. You did that to yourself. And I don't care if I'm unpopular, if you don't like what I say. Like, I'm speaking the truth from somebody who plays carriers but is a cruiser main. I'm a surface ship main. You don't think I've been annoyed by carriers before? But I also play them, and I understand things from a carrier perspective. Just like I play DDs, understand things from a DD perspective, understand things from a battleship perspective. I play all the classes. I main cruisers. Yes, I get annoyed by carriers. Especially when I'm in a cruiser that doesn't have AA. But even in the cruisers that do, it doesn't matter, because AA is useless at this point. AA was bad before this update. Now it is absolutely useless. And that's what needs to be addressed. And as long as you keep making it about something else, the real problem is never going to get fixed. So at some point, y'all are going to have to put on your big boy pants and deal with the actual issue of AA in this game is absolute dog poop. That's the issue. That's what needs to be fixed. You want to bring balance to the carrier class, you need AA. That is the counter to carriers. DDs rule the game. Like, any counter to a DD is nerfed or taken out. Radars, carriers, whatever can get a DD out of the game. Apparently the same for carriers. That's all I have for you. I will catch you next time. I would push for an AA rework if I were you guys. If you're that unhappy with the state of things, AA is what needs to get changed. Good hunting, fair seas, captains. I'll catch you next time. Bye.